Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some more Phyrexian fighting with the Phyrexian Obliterator that makes our opponent's sacrifice permanence equal to how much damage that they do to the Obliterator. But of course we are forcing that contact to happen using things like Bushwhack and Tail Swipe, both being our target creature fights a creature we don't control. So basically what we do is we play the Obliterator roughly on turn 4, hopefully on turn 4 or on turn 5, and then have the fight spell as well. Make a fight a creature, make our opponent sacrifice as many permanents as we physically can, and we progress the game that way. Outside of that, we have a couple other pieces to kind of help keep us alive, or just good value pieces that Golgari style decks would like to play regardless. Outside of that, let's go ahead and get into the games. And if you all enjoy my content, please be sure to subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. I'm getting close to getting to the monetization goal of getting 1,000 subs. I know I'm a little far away, but I feel close, you know what I'm saying, as the growth of the channel has done well in the past month or two. So I appreciate everyone that's subbed. I appreciate everyone just watching, whether you're subbed or not. So let's just go out there and let's just go game. My opponent is first, but I have double removal and a Bushwhack. Like, it's just kind of maintain so we can find the Obliterator, Bushwhack, and do the thing. Green white, what's that mean? New enchantments? I haven't seen enchantments in a while. Indeed you are. I don't know why I thought I could just remove that. I definitely cannot right now. Waste. Get you off the board. We're not have to deal with you right now. We have enough black mana to play what we want, so I'm just going to save these fight spells in case we need them if we play like a Glista or something here. Definitely need to find a spell. It's not just an instant or a sorcery. Love to be able to find more spells that do the same thing as my other spells. Can't let them untap this, and I'm going to pay 3 life because we're probably better off paying 3 life and keeping our cards in hand and doing the opposite way. Like, sure, Kami. I guess they should have done it on upkeep so they wouldn't have Kami play here. Just Kami would return on their end step. Big old blunder from me, I suppose. Me and blundering, name a better duo. Phyrexian. Turn. Now we have the setup. Just go all in. Go all in. Spin everything. Sure. That's fine. We want them to pump the Kami for as much as they can. And then we'll actually remove the visitor. On end step here, we'll get rid of like a fight spell. You really? I'm gonna try to remove this thing. It instantly resolved. They just keep leaving up a certain amount of mana, and it's making me uneasy. Like, genuinely, it's like I'm just. Hopefully they tap out and they play like a Calyx or something here. Sick. They get their Kami back, which is fine. Let's just continue to kind of act as though we don't have it here. Get Calyx off the board. I'm just gonna keep kind of playing it slow. Because the problem against enchantments is they only need to play a couple of things to really get the board going. And I would love to have 2 fight spells, especially in like a spot like this where I can fight the visitor and then maybe they'll keep the creature around and then I can fight the other creature. Sure. What do you put the counter on? Ooh, committing more to that creature? Are you going for a big swing here? They are going for a big swing. What do you want? I mean, it's a lot of damage here, but regardless, well, actually, they only have 1 enchantment, so it's not as much damage as we would think it would be. Phyrexian. Doing the thing. See how they sack here? That's sack 5 things, and that's gone. Depending what they end up sacrificing, we'll probably just end up bushwhacking with the Obliterator onto the Kami if they keep the Kami around. See though. Get rid of everything, keep the lands. Respectable. With that, I'll say your go. I'll start whining now. Guess I'll mute you. Like, you got it. Visitor Kami? Sure. Oh man, a fight spell would have been so sick there. And a virtue. Attack. Force him to have to play through it. We'll probably grab a naturalist first. Sure. And all fine. Like I said, I'm gonna grab naturalist because it does gain life. Cycle here. Let's play Mosswood. At what point do we start attacking, right? And they only have the flyer, I suppose. I don't have a way to deal with the flyer though, right now. Here. And now have a way to deal with the flyer. This one. It's a big bonk. Big bonk for sure. We go first. Our hand is pretty slow, but we can at least play Obliterator. I mean, our hand's really slow. We just have to kind of draw anything in between. At least they're not like the fastest aggro deck of all time. Sure. Get my tail swipe. Maybe they're not aggro at all anymore. I have no idea. I just thought it was going to be the blue-black, like, I don't, fairy deck. I have no idea. Sure. Back lane, pass. Cast another consider. Sure. What is up with this? Like, what in the world? I get cap another consider. It was just 3 of them in a row. Body gen. Phyrexian. Shieldred. You answer a Shieldred, sir. Hmm? Oh. So they've been asked for this whole time. We just didn't know that. Didn't know about them. Don't have a helping hand. This deck doesn't really play a lot of removal. I don't think it does. Alright, opponent. It was a good game. I guess why I lasted. Let's make sure it doesn't mess up. Do this. We said we'd like to make this fight here. And then that'll die. Now you have to sacrifice 5 permanents, which is all of them. And then I'll hit you with shielded. Okay. I mean, yeah, we keep this for sure. It doesn't necessarily have like, doesn't have the Obliterator in hand, but I mean, realistically, it's kind of what kind of a start that we want. White land is either a really bad sign or a really good sign, and with the black revealed, it is a very bad sign. Nice. Which just means, once again, I break this deck out, and I'm just up against control. I've played against control more today than I probably have in the last week. It's absurd. Sure. Fine with me. You got another edict. You got Liliana. Wedding announcement. Sure. How this matchup's going to play out, we have to do this. We can't allow them to stall us forever. We'll attack. We'll hit. Destroying champ. Wedding announcement. Thank you. And we will cycle this to draw a card. My turn's pretty good. See what happens. Nothing. What is this? All right, Emperor. Exile it. Okay, maybe don't. Draw. Draw. Oh, what you do control / you don't control. I think Glissa is significantly better here. Alright, Lord. The game wants me to fight the planet, but has to give me a little bit more to work with than that. That works. Play muscle in here. Guess I'm fine with playing the Crab Gorger too. In turn. It's just extra protection. What's the plan here? Got a creature in our graveyards. Sure. Good land to follow up. Here comes my Obliterator. We just go get a land and thin here, I guess. We only have 2 more. Turn. Oh boy. Sure. What's up? How we beat control, hopefully. Our turn. I meant to cycle this first, but regardless, it'll be fine. You find the spell. The land. Seeming promising. Sure. We actually get home. That's wild, to say the least. We bring this up. We make a green here. Target creature we control fights a creature. Then we actually get to go to combat and win the game. That's nuts. I was not expecting to get there. But if I could stop playing against control today, please. That'd be great. Bam, bam, bam. Go first. I have a couple pieces of the puzzle, so we'll keep. Start off the cottage, put land war waste, we'll cycle. Maybe play it down as a threat depending on what our opponent is. Like if it's mono red, then probably just play it as a threat. Rakdos, I think we dig. We like try our hardest to get to it. Yeah? What would you like? Choice is yes. Like, the choice is pretty obvious, but it has to be the tail swipe. Maybe it's not. Okay, it's roaming turn. The Dread Knight. Next, in turn. And now I can just tail swipe the bat. I mean, I'll let one life happen. Get out. I'll let 2 life happen, I guess. Here. Now, do I set up the roaming throne? Make it awkward for him? I think so. Well, then they get more looks, I guess. They're not getting super taxed about it. If I can play a roaming throne next turn, then it does the same. Where if they attack me now, they'll take 3 damage with the Preacher. Of course, like... I guess I could block. I can recycle the draw, but I don't really feel like doing that right now. I'm just curious what Rakdos build we're on. I would have to assume it's Discover one. Yeah, there it is. I mean, I guess my Preacher regardless. At least I had to use the spell here. Now it's like, do we keep this or do we just roaming throne threaten? I think it kind of depends what happens when I attack with this shielded here. Let it hit. Okay. Roaming throne coming down. Phyrexian. That's a double shielder trigger. Unsure if they knew that or not. But regardless. That's where we're at. Makes a 1/1 lifelinker. No blocks. Good. Hey, do you know what outpaces your shielded? A shielded with the roaming throne in play. Aw. So sick. Alright, opponent. I'd like to play this one. And I would like to pass. Go gain 2 and then lose 4. 7. And the best part about it is they actually lose their 4 before they gain 2 because of active player and non-active player. If you're unsure what I mean, is whoever turn it is the active player. Most cases is the active player. Therefore, their trigger goes on the stack first, and then ours go on the stack second, meaning that ours resolve second, or revolve. Oh my God, just talk. If their trigger goes on the stack first, ours goes on second. And because ours is higher up on the stack, ours resolves first. Therefore, they take the 4 damage before they would ever actually gain the 2. So here, if we were able to remove anything from them, down say 3 life, our shielded would trigger twice. Theirs would do 1, but theirs would trigger first. Ours would trigger second. Therefore, ours would resolve first and actually kill them before they gain the life back from their shielded. Holy, that was tough. All right, we go first. I mean, I'm gonna keep. If it happens to be control, I'm just gonna move on. We're already so bad against control, I don't think we can just sit around and just be even worse to control. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just have to cater to the fact that we want to beat up on creature decks. Oh, you just play it? Ciao. Know what your next turn is. Unless you just want to lose it for some reason. That'd be interesting. We'll play a Land War Waste. We won't really show the goods yet. But we have to start drawing the goods. Oh, we only actually have to draw 1 piece, right? I can do it too. Phyrexian. Play out the Dread Knight. The only thing we really have to worry about is our opponent can be playing Lily. And Tortoise is also a good card. Okay. Also just spot up removal. It's also just good. Yep, seems good. Alright, recover, mate. Stack 3 of your lands. And that's one of the situations where you just get so far ahead that it's just going to be impossible. Oh, yes. We made some changes. Still lose to control, but we made some changes, you know? That's all fine and good. I really do think, like, Roaming Throne with the Phyrexian Obliterator is obviously really good. I do think we just need to kind of take inspiration from the Golgari list and be playing the Phyrexian Obliterator on top of it. Like, kind of go through and be like, what cards will we reasonably cut from the list? And then just kind of go from there. You just play pretty much the same shell as Golgari is going to be playing anyway. We just have the splash of the Obliterator. I know some people recommended playing Beseech the Mirror, but I'm going to be honest, like working full time, couldn't really figure out the deck list where it like worked too well for me. So if anybody has like a recommended deck list, I'd gladly take it with Beseech the Mirror in it and playing the enchantments early and playing things that also make artifacts stuff so we can actually sacrifice it whenever the time comes. Because the hardest part overall, just strictly overall of everything, is having so many 1-drops that kind of don't do anything, or cards that don't do anything unless we do have like a creature in play. And Armored Scrapgorger really doesn't count in that spot. And Bat's also a little weird. Like, are we really wanting to play Bat here and just slowing our opponent down? So like that's the other consideration you have to make. And then if you are playing more of the Golgari deck where we start stacking up on 3-drops, so we have a little bit more consistent board presence overall, a little bit more of a stall. And then we have to probably consider cutting Roaming Throne, maybe go down to 2, because Roaming Throne really is just to be like the super over the top plan with the Phyrexian Obliterator, or sometimes the over top plan with the Shieldred. And again, with the Beseech the Mirror, you get that option of, oh, I already have like this plus a fight spell. Let me beseech out this Roaming Throne and then fight something. And we just play like 2 of these. So they don't feel as clunky. Obviously, the Ward 2 is really nice, but it just, I don't know. It's just a lot of time. Like, if this is our game plan to just lose to control, we have to try to ensure that we never lose to aggro. And that's really the only way I see this deck with the Obliterator kind of moving forward. Or we have to give ourselves a couple more outs against control. For example, one of my weaknesses today was against Wandering Emperor because all my creatures enter tapped. This guy would also be good because any fighting with Death Touch. This guy. Yeah, I'm just dumb. It's fine. I don't know how to spell. But like playing this guy in this deck actually doesn't seem that bad. And also like putting map tokens on stuff and making sure that if we have lands on the top, we can kind of thin out the deck if we can. And then just progress the game that way. Or like I said when we highlighted the Preacher, like this is such a good brick wall and a good attack creature that can kind of draw some cards or make some extra creatures on the back end. And these are all threats that work well against control overall, and it's just pretty hard for them to work with, like work against, work with. And I think there's a reason we don't see like the Scrapgorger in the Golgari decks, and there's a reason we don't see like, obviously we're doing something completely different here, but with like the Roaming Throne stuff. So maybe we should consider looking at kind of converting a solid Golgari deck into a fight deck with the Obliterator in that list, and maybe we can find a little bit more consistency, a little bit better, just like really dominate that creature matchup instead of kind of winning it most of the time, instead of being like, oh yeah, we win this pretty much every single time we play against humans or Boros humans, because we just remove the key pieces, play an Obliterator and say good luck, and then we just move on from there. But outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed. That's all I got from me. I'm sorry if you could hear me crinkling a bottle. I get a little antsy with my hands, so that's the thing that I have issues with sometimes. I like to rip stuff off of bottles. But I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you later. Goodbye.